I have been selling this book, Zanazli and Wan Chun Hong's Guide to Indie Filmmaking, which is published by MPH, for a while now. It's a really good book if you want to be a filmmaker, whether it's for YouTube, social media, TV, film, cinema, whatever. This is the book to get. I'm going to make it more accessible and more affordable to all of you because I believe that everybody needs to become a filmmaker. The more filmmakers we have in the world, I think this world will be a better place to live in. Now it's available as an electronic book download on my website. I'm going to link it here. It's really cheap, it's really affordable. It's only 5 ringgit if you want to get the ebook version. Okay, 5 ringgit. It doesn't really cost much, right? It's just a little bit of something for me. I mean, it did take a lot of work to write. Each chapter of this book talks about one part of the filmmaking process. And for each chapter as well, I interview a local filmmaker. It's only 5 ringgit. It's only 5 ringgit. You're watching and listening to the Fat Bidin Film Club, and I'm assuming I'm Zanazli.
And I'm Sheila Abustama.
And as usual, every week we watch a local film and we review it. And this week we are reviewing a film that was in the Malaysian International Film Festival.
It was on Movie.
It was on Movie. The festival is over, but the movie that we're reviewing is still there.
Yes.
Right, and it is
Malu by Edmund Yeo.
Okay, so we have watched the film by Edmund Yeo, Malu, right? And full transparency right now, Edmund's a friend. I've known him for a very long time, you know. We've worked together even on a film before when he was still an assistant director. And yeah, he's a nice guy. I really like him. But that doesn't mean that our review of his film is going to be like totally biased lah. Our reviews ever biased?
No.
Maybe sometimes. No. Well, you know, yeah.
Okay.
And I'm speaking English because they want me to speak in English. You guys want me to speak English.
Yeah, okay.
Apparently, yeah. So, not like last week when I was speaking Malay. But I can speak Malay too when I want to. Okay, anyway, yes. You want to tell us what the film is about?
Okay, so the film basically explores the relationship between two sisters who have basically gone through like a traumatic sort of experience with their mother because they get separated, and then one fellow goes with the grandmother, and then they grow up very differently, and then later on when the mother dies they also sort of drift apart, and then one of the sisters die, and then we discover like some stuff about her. That's what the film is about lah. Yeah. So I mean, Edmund he's done several films already, and his films are always like very well received overseas and all that. And he has this relationship with Japan. For some reason, you know, his films get shown in Japan, and many of his films are shot in Japan too. Yeah, including this one.
I mean, it's Malaysia and then a little bit of Japan. So what do you have to say about the film?
Okay, first of all, I would like to say that I always find it very hard to enjoy Edmund's films because of the pacing. Okay, Edmund is a very nice guy, but the pacing, his films are not made for me. His films are made for appreciative Asian people.
It's very artsy-fartsy.
That appreciate artsy-fartsy shots and appreciate super slow dialogue. Kind of like this. But throughout a 2-hour film, how they, I cannot. I mean, I tried really, really hard. Okay, first of all, I must say that I really like the premise of the film.
Yeah,
I really like the premise of the film. I like the theme of the film, and I like how it explores trauma through different levels, and it also explores how trauma sort of shapes and develops a person, and sort of makes a person into what they eventually become, and how the damages sort of play itself out. I really like that, and the film is very complex lah, you can say.
Yeah.
The 3 main characters in itself are super complex.
Very good writing, don't you think?
Yeah, to comprehend.
Yeah.
And it's written really well, and it's got a very good got very good premise, a very good theme, but the style and the execution of it is very Edmund.
Yeah.
He always executes his films like that, which means that they are shot very beautifully. Everything's very pretty. But Edmund's films require taking time to appreciate a lot of things. So every scene, every shot is to be appreciated, which means he gives you time to appreciate it. So for people like me who doesn't enjoy like yoga even, we're like, come on, let's go, yo, what's happening? So I memang have no patience to appreciate it the way it should be appreciated, and so I'm gonna say that lah. Okay, so it's not a bad film. It's actually quite a good film, but I just don't have the capacity to appreciate it. Yeah.
Okay, don't move. Okay, come on.
So we got a cat, and the rule is that the cat's not supposed to go in the house because we're actually all allergic. We adopted this cat, but while we were filming this, the cat went to the house. Yeah, so Zan has now thrown the cat out of the house, and he's just kind of confused, even though he shouldn't be.
So now the cat is misbehaving, but Achilles is sitting very nicely there, he's looking at us.
He's like nodding at us also.
Yeah, he's not even making a sound.
Yeah. So it's a very intelligent film. It's very beautiful. It's got really great writing, and it's a really good story. But the pacing just kind of kills it for me, because I really want to watch this film and really appreciate it to its fullest, but I cannot because it's just really slow. And then I spent half the time just wanting it to just move on, like just move on. But I understand that it's intentional, and I understand that is the style. It's just not a style that I can appreciate. Yeah.
Okay, so I can appreciate films like this, but it takes a lot of mental power.
I have no mental capacity for
And every
it.
once in a while, I like to use my mental power and then get a headache. Okay, so to be honest, we've reviewed Edmund's films before, and you've always said the same thing.
Yeah.
Right? It's just I think for you, it's a matter of preference rather than a matter of
which I've said,
the film is good or not, right?
No, it's good.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is for you, it's more preference rather than it's not a good film.
Yeah.
Right? Whereas for me, I think I'm going to say that this is Edmund's film. I don't think I've watched all of Edmund's films, but out of all the ones that I have watched, I think this one appeals to me the most. It is. It doesn't give you as much of a headache than his other films, right? And I could really, to be honest, I enjoyed the film. I thought it was a great, like you were mentioning that this story, everything that you said I agree with. You were saying that it explores the theme, trauma. It talks about how trauma influences people and how they react and how they lead their lives and how their lives end also.
Yeah.
Right? That's good. I agree with you when you talk about how Edmund's films his scenes are always very deliberate. Every scene means something.
Really meticulous control of every single scene.
Yeah, and I could appreciate it in this film. I really could appreciate it. And I know you said you want the scenes to move on. It does move on for me. But of course, in that own pacing that it has, in that own unique pacing that it has. And it allows, again, like what you said, it allows the viewer to really deliberate on it, enjoy it, appreciate it, and then move on to the next scene, the next story and all that. I really like the fact that this story, I don't know why, and maybe it's something personal, I've been thinking a lot about mortality. Have I told you that I've been thinking about mortality?
No.
Maybe even my own mortality?
A bit, yes.
Have I told you? I've told you?
Perhaps.
Because I've been thinking, if I die, what happens to the kids? What happens to you? What happens to many things if I die? And I'm thinking I don't know where this is coming from, but yeah, thinking about mortality. And this film, when I watched Malu, several people die in this film, right? At different times as well. And the timeline isn't really linear in this film.
Yeah, not really.
Yeah, it's not linear, and it's about different people, and they're all connected, and they die, and then they try to find out about each other's death, and when they try to find out about each other's death, they're also trying to find out the personalities and the individual that has died. Because although they're all connected, they're like family lah, friends lah, and all that, they don't really know each other. You know, and they're trying to piece together about the character of these people who have died by finding it out only after their death, by talking to people who knows them or trying to remember what has happened in the past and all that. And I guess because I was thinking about my own mortality, I was thinking, how will people remember me? Will there be
Please comment below how you will remember Zan.
will there be a big statue built about, you know, in commemoration of me in Dataran Merdeka once I die?
No.
You know,
No budget. For Nobody got budget.
Will my kids talk about me, and how will
Yes.
my memory be preserved, you know, after I die? And like,
Through your videos.
I guess through my
YouTube channel
and my
will
books
live
and everything. I don't know, you know, and like some of these characters, some of them were okay. They were trying. Their lives were alright. Some of them, their lives were just.
Were their lives alright though?
No.
I really felt like all of their lives were kind of shit in some form.
So many of these characters turned out to be like very insignificant after they die. But if you think about it, some of them tried to make it worth something. You know, and I guess when I'm thinking about my mortality also, is like, did I really achieve something? It's not about achievement. This is me thinking, right? When I was thinking about my own mortality, I don't need to have achieved anything, but I would like to know that I have made an effort to achieve something. You know, and some of these characters in the story, they had miserable lives, and then they tried to make a change. Whether they achieve it or not is a different matter lah. So to me, you know, maybe that is.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean?
That did happen, yeah.
Yeah. And so that's what I thought about the film. There's this one thing about Edmund's films. He always has films that like refer to like the words sound Malay, but they actually, when he explains it, they're actually not Malay words. They're like some other foreign language words, and it means something that is thematic to the film. Malu, I don't know. I didn't do any research to find out, but
Maybe Edmund will tell us.
yeah, maybe after
Tell
this.
us, Edmund.
Yeah.
What does it mean?
But yeah, I really enjoyed the film. And I know that this kind of film may not be like, you know, the preference of many people.
Yeah.
But if you are cerebral and kind of like
and
artsy
have
fartsy
patience
films,
and do yoga.
yeah, I think
will have the capacity.
It was a good film, yeah.
Look, even I don't do yoga, and I'm not a very patient person, but I still enjoyed the film.
You could see the what?
Yeah,
the
I
positive
really
aspect.
liked it, and I really like, because of the way it was, I made the extra effort to like sit through it and be patient and be like, okay, I'll watch this, and like, okay, never mind, it's very slow, but it's okay, because it was worth like sitting through. So you should definitely watch the film. Yes.
Yeah.
Watch the film.
And the writing was really good, like you
Yes.
said. Right, the writing was so good, you know.
Compared to Edmund's last film that we watched, which was Kifara.
No, Kifara was the other one, the one about the the revenge.
But his also had like a
Something like that.
and it was about migrants lah, basically. His film was about migrants.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Now he's talking. Achilles is talking over there.
That film was a little bit too art. And it was a little bit not as controlled as this one, I felt. So I feel like this one, Edmund has like really, really meticulous control of it. And it might be his most mature film yet. Because it's he has those long scenes, and he has those scenic scenes and everything, but the flow of the story was just much better. It was not as disconnected as the last film that we saw, which was the migrants one.
Maybe this one wasn't as abstract as his other films, but this one actually has a little bit of a narrative.
True.
Maybe this is his most accessible film.
But he also did make it quite abstract, actually, by making it non-linear. Just saying.
Okay.
Because suddenly you like watch it, you expect like a... So recently, we have been talking to my father-in-law about films and about shows, and we tell him the things that...
Father-in-law be my father.
Oh, my father-in-law, his father.
My father.
Who doesn't care about you, but yeah, cares about me. So we've been talking to him together about about films and about shows that we like, and we always tell him what we like about these shows, and then he'll come back and he's like, no, I didn't like it, it's boring. And then he'll quote like some Hollywood show, and he'll be like, this show is nice, you should watch this. So it feels a little bit like that lah. Like we are telling you now, you should watch it, and this show is nice. But if you are like my father-in-law, his father, and you like more mainstream stuff, then it wouldn't be a film for you lah. But you should still give it a chance, you know. So yeah.
So should they watch it?
Yeah, should
Please
watch it.
it.
Give it a chance.
And it's on Mubi. Mubi is, yeah, a lot of, you know what? I've noticed Mubi has been signing on a lot of old Malaysian films, but good ones, right? Okay, Achilles, soon. We're almost done. We'll bring you for a walk. Alright, so yeah, they've been signing on a lot of old Malaysian films, but actually good films. So you should check it out.
But
Right?
also some not so good films. So just check out the good films.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let us know what you think. Watch Malu. Let us know what you think about Malu.
Yeah.
Edmund, if you're watching us, tell us what the meaning of the title is. Yeah.
Oh yeah, shout out to Vince who also worked on the film, who's my friend. Hey.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's it. Comment, whatever.
Like
any
this video.
questions? Yeah.
Don't
Like this video. Don't like. Subscribe.
Let us know what you remember about Zan when he dies.
Yeah.
Which could be
Tell me
tomorrow
what would you
or 70 years
remember
from
about
now,
me
who the
if
hell
I
knows?
die? What have I brought
I will type by
to
comment
Malaysia
also.
and the world in my life living on this earth, right? So okay, follow us on all
Achilles.
our social
The answer is
media.
Achilles.
Only Achilles?
That's the main thing lah.
Alright, and also Athena and Alethea.
But mostly
Alright,
Achilles,
and mostly Achilles. Okay, no, I love all my children equally.
Yeah, Achilles
So-
just bulldozes his way. You see.
So
that's
follow us on all our social media platforms at FatBidin or go to fatbidin.com to get everything. You're watching and listening to Fat Bidin Film Club. I'm assuming I'm Zan Azli.
And I'm sure it was the one.